that same light, I feel also uncomfortable with my number 20 pick in Arkansas. Um, the reason
Mm.
I am as high on Arkansas is because I love Sam Pittman. He's the one coach that I would pick over any other to have a beer with. So there's an affinity for him just as a coach. But I also know that he's also going to have a really strong offensive line any given year. And he's got the perfect quarterback and I think a really great offensive system to utilize that offensive line more so than most other quarterbacks, particularly in the SEC. I'm really high on KJ Jefferson this year. I think he may actually be the best quarterback in the SEC from a production standpoint, from his ability to fit within the scheme and fit within this offense. It only helps them that he came back, right? So could he end up being the Anthony Richardson of this class, this NFL draft class, and someone who is talented, who's physical, who has a big arm, tends to overthrow. Maybe he dials that in a little bit. I could definitely see him benefiting from coming back another season. But with Arkansas, they've got a great offensive line. They've got some weapons at wide receiver. Nothing that scares you. That's definitely their weakest unit on offense. But then you've got Rocket Sanders coming out of the backfield too. So he to me is the second best running back in the SEC behind Quinshon Judkins. But Rocket Sanders should be able to put up at least 1,000 yards. Probably, I think this is a guy who could be kind of like Bijan Robinson last season for Texas and put up 1,800 all-purpose yards and 20 touchdowns. I mean, I think this guy is really that good, and he should be a feature of the offense. Hopefully, they can find ways to give him some space and get him open. Without going too far into detail, this defense has just been piss poor. Under Sam Pittman, for an SEC defense, they have been absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. So they have to play better. That's what worries me about this team is the defense. And if in the SEC, you've got to play and in college football in general, but you've got to play complementary football. So if you're out there on defense, giving the ball back, constantly, and the other team's just running it down your throat and scoring, you're just constantly out there getting gassed. And how does that affect your offense? Can your offense go out there and be methodical, give you a breather? I think this offense has a chance to be pretty powerful and could do that, but I still have some serious questions about defense at every unit. There's just nothing here that's that I look at and go, oh yeah, they're really strong in this unit or that unit. But just as a whole, their defense has got to play a lot better. I'm a little bit high on Arkansas. I have them going 8-4. Nothing crazy, but I just look at this schedule and I say, yeah, LSU is probably a loss, Bama is probably a loss, and then outside of that, all those other games are winnable. I mean, who else scares you there? Texas A&M, Mississippi State. For an SEC West schedule, this is pretty manageable. They do draw Florida at the Swamp in Week 10. And then at the end of the season, they've got Missouri at home. So it's a manageable schedule for Arkansas. I think this could be a pretty bad 8-4 team by the end of the season. But ultimately, I think this is just a really strong offense, and that's why I have them so high.